tonight we have some more products from the Sale-a-bration catalog, and I'm going to be casing a card titled Counting Sheep and Sheep Dies, Sale-a-bration, How to Make a Bed Using the Fence/Gate by Jane Allmark from the UK. I want to thank Jane for this great design, and I hope you don't mind that I tweaked it a bit. I also want to thank Jane for the tips she gave me when I was first starting out creating videos. It's really not all that scary. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan's Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. And during Sale-a-bration, I'm trying to get at least 2 videos out there in a week. Now let's take a few seconds so that I can turn the camera down. And here's my version of the Counting Sheep, How to Turn a Gate into a Bed card. And what I did is I changed it up a little bit, and I gave it a floor. If you can see the grains here, turn it sideways. So what I did is I took a piece of the In Good Taste, and this is the light wood, and I took it at an angle and I cut it this way, and then I cut another 1/2-inch strip off from that. But I had to cut it first to get it on a straight plane there. And there's a lot of other patterns here you can use for the grains in the In Good Taste. So you could use the dark wood. I used the one that was the light. It has kind of a grayish wash look to it. And I use that for the bed and for the baseboard and for this board that's going across between the 2 wallpapers there. And for the wallpaper, I used a 6x6 assortments of paper, and I used the smoky slate, the 2 different patterns there. So if you look at that, there's just so many different wall colors you could use. And then for the bed, I used the buffalo plaid that was from the Peaceful Print, also from the Sale-a-bration catalog. But look at all the colors that we could use by going into, this would be the 6x6 assortments, using those for a bedspread. This is from the Tidings of Christmas. Great colors for adding some color into the card. Here's some from I think it's Heartwarming in the mini catalog. And these, I think, again, this is from the Peaceful Prints. And then this one is from I think it's the Heartwarming in the 6x or by the mini catalog. A lot of choices there. So to make this card, we're going to use the real red for the background paper. We're going to go with a 5.5 by 8.5 inch cardstock and fold it on the score line, which is at 4 1/4, and then we'll burnish that with our bone folder. And I'm just going to burnish it on both sides to make sure I can get a quick crisp edge there. And then for the inside the card, we're going to use a 4-inch by 5 1/4, and this is the Very Vanilla. And we're going to want to stamp that with our sheep. We're going to do the standing sheep. and then we'll do So Glad It's Your Birthday. So we'll use our Memento ink. And then we will take the stamp, and for So Glad It's Your Birthday, we'll get that right away, and then we'll go clean our stamps off. Okay, I'm going to close that up for right now. We have some more stamping to do in a little bit, but I want to get these cleaned off for right now. So this is our Stampin' Scrub. There's a raindrop on this side and a sunshine up here on this side. So that tells you that this is the wet pad and this is the dry pad. So in order to do that, we want to stamp off the excess ink from our dies. And then we will spray this with our Stampin' Mist. I hadn't sprayed it yet today, so I'm just going to give it a couple shots there. And then you just scrub it. And then you put it on the dry side, and it takes all the ink right off. All right. So then what we want to do is we want to color this sheep. So we're going to give his face a little color with using Petal Pink. And we'll start with the light Petal Pink. And we'll use the broad tip marker. And I'm just going to go all around the top part. And this marker is getting dried out, so I really need to order another one. So we've got that there. Then next we're going to take our dark marker and we're going to use the bullnose tip. And we're going to just put a little bit on the top of each of these arms and legs. And in his ears and around the back part of his head. And then we're going to go back to our Petal Pink and we'll use the broad tip to kind of bring that down from the dark into the light. So you kind of get an ombre effect. And I'm actually going to turn it around and use the bullnose tip just to get the very tip part. That's also dry too, so that's why I didn't use that in the beginning. Otherwise, I probably would have just used the bullnose tip. So we're done with that portion. Now what we need to do is hooves, and we'll start with the light gray granite, and we're just going to use the bullnose tip on this. And we're going to color all of it in the gray granite. Then we'll come back with the bullnose tip for the dark, and we're going to use just touch the very edge of his hooves to give it a little darker color. And then we're going to come back again with our gray granite, the light, and pull the dark into the lighter. And that again is going to give that ombre effect. And then we're done with that sheep. So just put a little glue on this and we'll put it inside our card. So, and we're going to have 1/8 of an inch border around the edge of the card. And I should have my silicone mat down. I'll get it in a second here. So we want 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Then I'm just going to use my bone folder just to kind of flatten it out, get any glue bubbles squeezed out from underneath. And we got a little glue there. Let me get that out. So then next we want is the top of the card. So we've got our wallpaper, and I'm using I think this is Crumb Cake from the Regals collection, not the Regals collection, the Neutrals collection. And I cut it at 2 inches by 5 1/4. But after I got it cut, I could have done this piece like at 2 1/2, and this one by 2, leave this one at 2 so that I could overlap them. So I'm just going to have to basically overlap it very little bit, and then we'll piece the bottom portion in. So let me get my mat here. So we know this is going to be 5 1/2, and we want it to be at 4, but I need to overlap these because I want to connect those. It makes it easier for me to piece this all together and then put it onto the card as one sheet rather than separately. So I'm going to just put a little glue along the edge up here. So it's going to be like about 1/16 of an inch overlap there. And I should have my glue mat down again. Let me get it. So let me get this here. And let me pull this up here so I can see through this mat here. So I can use this still and see the markings underneath of the grid mat there. So that works for me. So I want to make sure I've got this on here right. And so it just shifted, so I'm going to pull that off again. Okay. So we've got that done. Then the next thing is we're going to want to put on is our flooring. Now this is that piece of wood grain, but I cut it sideways, and I'm going to put it down at the 4-inch mark and we'll overlap all of that. So I knew that that was going to happen. Actually, the first card I did, I had it wider, had these pieces wider, so they covered it all the way to the 4-inch mark. And so then this was totally overlapping everything. So, and I'm going to take my glasses off to make sure I can get that right. So we've got that now. And I am going to pull this up and trim off the excess on the edges. And I'm using the paper as a guide. And it looks like this one could use a little more trimming on it. There we go. And then next we want to do is put the baseboard. And we're going to put the baseboard so it overlaps onto the flooring. Because I don't need to have that much flooring. So, and what I did when I cut the baseboard was cut out of the same wood grain. But I took it at a portion where there's a darker edge and then the lighter edge. So it looks like it gives us a little dimension there. So I cut it right around there, and that was 1/8 of an inch. And it actually was a mistake because I wanted to put a piece here, and I thought, oh, 1/8 of an inch would be fine. And I stuck it there and it didn't look right. So then I later on thought, oh, I'll give it some flooring and put the baseboard down there. So that's where that came about. Let me get this glued up. And we just want to have it meet the top of that. There we go. And then again, we'll just trim it with using the paper as a guide. And next we need is our middle board. Again, that's some of that same grain. And we're just going to put it on there, and we're going to rest it on top of the lower pattern paper. So where this ends and this begins, right along that edge there. So that'll give us more floor or more wall space of the bottom paper than of the top paper, intentionally. I'm so glad we have this silicone mat, because otherwise my work surface would be so sticky. I don't know if it would clean up either, where this cleans up so easily. In order to clean the glue off from there, you just peel it off, or you could wash it off. The liquid glue, you could wash it off. If you're using the Seal Plus or Seal, that'll just peel off. Or on either one of those, you could use some strapping tape and tape it over the glue and then pull it all off. So we've got that now. And next we need our bed. So the bed is cut out of the same grain paper using this die from the sheep dies. So, and I already got one cut out to save us some time. So what I do here, when you cut this, there's like little slots in there, so that just makes it easy to trim this up. So what I want is I want to have that extra notch on this side. So when I'm cutting this out, we have the extra knot that way. So I am going to trim off this side completely. So it's really easy, just a little snip here, and it's free. So one tiny snip, and it got that free. Now I'll get the other side, and now that is completely done. Then I need to go down and do a little snip down here to get that free. And the thing is, it does take it longer than you want it to, but that's okay. You just be careful and we won't tear that off. Then on this side, I'm going about halfway up where that triangle is and just doing a little slip there. Then I'm going to go down and cut off that little piece there and then the little piece here. So that frees all this up, and I guess I have to do it on both sides. And I think I can just go sneak in there and get it that way. Then we'll finish off this end, and we'll cut this little snip right here and a little snip up here, and hopefully we got that all taken care of. Yep. And let's see, got a little fuzzy there, so let's see if we can get that off. So next we need our bedspread. So our bedspread, I am going to use this piece, and that is taken from the Peaceful Prints from the Sale-a-bration catalog. And I am going to, I made myself a little template here. So this is what the bedspread is going to be, the size of it. And I have it a little bit bigger than what it needs to be so that I can trim it down each end. And then we want the bottom to be able to glue it to the back of the bed and the headboard to the back of the bed. So we will do that, and I am going to just hold it down here to just kind of get a rough cut of what I need. And you probably can't see that. So I'm got it right here. I'm going to just do a rough cut of it. So now you could probably trace this out, and maybe I will do that, because if it shifts on me, then I won't know where I'm at. So I'm going to trace this out. Got a pencil here. Can hardly see it, but I've got that traced onto here now. I'll put my template aside, so hopefully I won't lose that. And so I'm going to trim this off, and I'm going to go inside the pencil marks. And I know this is going to be too long, so I'm going to just finish it here, and then we'll just check the size again, and I can tweak it now. So I'd like to have more of the headboard, or more of the pillow. So I think I'm going to tweak it on this end. So I will go ahead and glue this in place, and then I can tweak that, just cut that off even with the edge. First I'm going to erase my pencil marks, because I didn't stay out on the outside or the inside portion of them. So we'll put the glue on the back of the bed. Slide that a little bit. I'm just trying to get it to slide a little bit so that it's just, I wanted to get this end, these two pieces closer together. So that works like that. Okay, so now I'm going to trim this piece off here. I'm trying to undercut it. And so now we have our bed. And I'd like our bed to be set inside. So somewhere beyond the two markers here, and below the baseboard, obviously, because you want it on the floor. So I'm thinking that'll work like that right there. So now I just need to glue that down, and I'm wondering if maybe we should try putting dimensionals on that. I think I'm going to put dimensionals on there. The other one didn't have dimensionals, but let's see how it works. And I have to find them. Use the tiny ones. So I'm going to put them right down here. Will that fit up there? I don't think so. I can probably trim that in half and get it up there. And let's put one up here. Kind of sags on this end, so I'm going to put one there and then one over here too, because that was sagging when I. So I want to put a dimensional up here, or remnants, so I never throw these away. So I'm just going to cut off one out of here. So I'll just take one of these edges here. And it doesn't, there we go. I couldn't get the backing off. Okay. Let's see, what does it look like? Oh yeah, that looks much better. I should have done that with the other card. Oh, really cool. And then I'm just pulling all these off with my take your pick tool. And I think I'm going to have to unload it because it's not picking up anymore. And I don't know if I got this one yet. There. So again, we want to place it down so it's beyond this 2 bars. I don't know what they're called. The pattern in the wallpaper. And then get the edge of the bed, the base of the bed, parallel with the floor. Or the edge of the card, I guess, not the floor, because the floor is going diagonally. Oh, yes. And now we can glue that onto our card base. So let's get our glue. And I think it dried up on me, so let me try and open it up again. I should have glued this card down before putting the bed on there. So we want to make it have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So let's get it centered on there. So I'll just use my bone folder and be very careful about the bed because I don't want to wreck the bed. And I'm just flattening the glue out from underneath the card. Normally I would turn it over on the other side, but then I don't know if I would wreck the bed if I did that. So we need to put our sheep on there as well. So we need to stamp 2 sheep. So let's get our paper here. And we'll use this dancing sheep here. And I like to usually use it this way rather than the other way, because then you can see when it's stamped and you don't overstamp it. So I'm just going to put one on top of the other here. You need to leave room for cutting them out with the die. So let me stamp this off and get it clean with the scrubby. So next we'll want to do is we'll die cut this, and so you just place it on here, and I'll use the same tape that I used earlier, and then I'll run that through the die cutter. Wasn't I quick? So, and I've already colored one, and I should have colored this one because we did one coloring here. I'm going to color it in the very same manner.
Glue that we are using is the multi-purpose glue found in the Everyday catalog. I've put it into these small bottles with the needle nose just to help me apply it more smoothly. The white chalk marker is used to reapply the white to the eyes, and it's only used if needed.
We need to put dimensionals on this. This one I already did, so we'll put the small dimensionals on here. And 2 more, I think. And we'll see. I'm going to put one up here. Give you another one because it kind of bellies out there. All right. So those are ready to go. I'm not going to put them on there until we get our signs on there because I'm afraid that it might, the placement might not be quite right. I don't want to cover up the words. So next we want to do our sweet dreams. So to do that, let me go get something. I'll be right back. So this is what I went to get, the press and seal. Have you ever used this? If you tear off a small strip of it, which I've got here, and you have the sticky part facing up, so that's why I've got this tape down so it doesn't keep shifting around on me. And then you put your letters on. It's going to be backwards. It's because it's the sticky side facing up. And then once you get it lined up, you can pull this off. And then you can put it down on your paper where you want to attach it. So we're going to want to attach it to this piece of white. And I can see that it's centered there. And I've got excess on this side, but we could trim that off. So that's going to work on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off quick. I'm going to put glue on it. Then we can put it back down. So this is where this works the best. And I'm going to take my glasses off. It works a little bit easier for me. And then you just put the glue on each letter. And I've got a little bit more glue going on here than I would care to put on. So I'm going to just kind of top this off and kind of stall a little bit. Let it kind of dry just somewhat. Oh, not what I wanted to do there. So I'm going to set this down on here. And I'm going to get it lined up with the bottom line. So then I know I'm working with a parallel surface. So I'm going to get it over to the edge where I want it to start. And then line it up top and bottom, making it centered in between those. And then you just press it down. And then you just pull this off. I see that there's excess glue and I'm just trying to heat it up. Maybe I can pull this with here. Okay, so then we want to trim this off. So we'll just get our trimmer and we'll just chop it off at the very end. And I think we'll have it be about 1/8 of an inch. That works. And then we'll have it fit onto this piece. And the dimensions for the paper is going to be in the comment section below. So yes, that's going to work there. We'll have to trim the red off, but I make those longer in case I can't get it, the words squeezed in the same amount each time. Then I can always just trim off the one end. Okay, so then we just need to trim off the excess on the right side. And that just needs to be a hair. We have our sweet dreams. Now those we want to place on the card, and we're going to glue those down. We aren't going to put those on dimensionals. So we probably should do sweet dreams rather than dream sweet. Okay, let's do that. And I'm just going to rub it down. And I kind of want that centered over the dreams. So, and we'll leave about 1/8 of an inch of the brown crumb cake above. So there we have that. And then we'll put our sheep on. And you can hang on to these papers if you have a place to put them, because it's still sticky and you can use it for other lettering. So I'll probably do it for some more cards here. So let's put those on with our dimensionals. So we want this one jumping over the bed. I got dimensional stuck on my fingers. So it's over the headboard. And he's following in behind. And then we have our Z's that we have to put on yet. And we'll put these on with our glue. And I'm missing a Z. So let me go cut another Z real quick. I'm back. So let me get these on here. We're just going to put them on with glue. We're not going to use that sticky cellophane stuff, so it'll be just as easy to do it with the glue here. Because I'm not having to line it up, you know, to get have it say any words or anything. We just want to have 3 Z's on here. Oh, I can't get this tweezers open. Just about done. Okay. I think we're done with this now. Let me check on the inside. So glad it's your birthday. So these are the 2 we have here, and I've got 2 others that I started. So you can kind of see other color combinations. I don't have any of the lettering done yet. I need to make, I think, 2 more yet for my grandnieces and nephews for their birthdays. I hope you like this project as much as I did. As you can see, it would work great with just about any sentiment stamp set. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you have enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to share my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Bear with me a little bit longer because I want to let you know of the promotions going on right now. Experience everything the autumn season has to offer with this month's paper pumpkin kit. Whether you're thinking about crisp red apples or you're ready to carve some spooky jack-o'-lanterns, or both, the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit is a hands-on crafting experience for all autumn lovers. The kit contains enough supplies to create 12 treat boxes. Offers a versatile autumnal experience with the selection of treat box styles. Take your pick of apple, pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern treat boxes. The paper pumpkin box is even designed to easily transform into a vintage wheelbarrow to display your harvest. The Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit runs from August 11th through September 10th.
The July-December mini catalog is here. Sales run from August 3rd through January 3rd.
It's your passport to stunning seasonal projects. It contains all the products you'll need to craft, create, and celebrate during Halloween, Christmas, and more. Are you ready to celebrate? Sale-a-bration is one of our biggest promotions of the year. Are you ready to celebrate? During the celebration, you can earn exclusive products for free. For every $50 you spend, you can add your pick of a celebration product to the cart at no additional cost. Sale runs August 3rd through September 30th. Mark your calendars. I'll be back Monday, August 30th at 7 p.m. Central Time with something from the Sale-a-bration catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now. And don't forget to subscribe.